Alright, so I've got a little photo essay of me creating this pedal. It's more about the artwork and what I had done to get it done. So as you can see here, I have, this is tape that I used. And what I did is I taped the entire front of the pedal after I'd put the holes in it, because I wanted to do this Pharaoh skull. This is the Rullywow King Tut Fuzz. It's based off the Black Art Electronics or Black Arts Audio Pharaoh pedal. It's a fuzz pedal, and I wanted to put that image on it. I did the double snake eyes here in green that I put together for the eyes of the snake, and I really wanted to be able to paint it and do it nice, but the only thing I had done before then was this, and I wanted it to look better than that. So I put the tape over it, I drew it up in pencil, went over it with the paint pens to see how it looked, and I liked the way it looked. I had left it on there. I actually put it all together, did a post up on Reddit about it, going, what do you think? I'm like, should I go about and do it? And the people were like, look, just go and do it. Go and do it, you're never gonna know. So I went and did it on here, and I like the way it came out. It's got a matte finish, or actually I think it's a satin finish. I got it from a site online, not the finish itself, but the way to do it. After I did it, I didn't like it. I had done all these pedals in that. When I didn't like it, I tried to bake it off, and you can see it all ran and burnt up, really almost destroyed these, and I was lucky because I could get it off of here. It took some of the paint, so I had to redo the face of some of these, but you know, it at least did work in a way. But I need to redo it. These are all getting ready. I had put clear coat and screwed them up, so they're getting ready for some actual epoxy. But right now what I want to do with this one is I found these gold Stomp switches. So I want to replace the silver with the gold, because I just think it'll help with the consistency of the pedal and make it look better. I'm going to do it actually in place. The only thing I'm taking off is this, you know, so I can get this one out when time comes. But I am just going to cut it out of there. I think I can reuse all my wires. They all seem to be plenty long enough. So I'm just going to cut them out and rewire everything. Because I also, as I said, I like the other way of doing it. The pedal PCB way of doing the wiring better than the Rullywow way, or the Mad Bean way. So I want to do it over again, because I didn't like the way this really came. In fact, if you look, I've got, I think this is the ground that's going to here, or it's the 9 volt. Is this the 9? Yeah, see, I don't know what I did. I screwed this one up. I seem to have screwed up that. So we're going to try to clean this up and actually make it a little bit better. Plus, we're going to cut this out, so we'll see. These switches are not cheap, so I will be doing another video on how to go about, you know, desoldering this, because I want to clean all the solder off this switch so I can use it again, because it's a perfectly fine switch. It works great. I've started using different solder. You can see I bent that pin up a bit. Look at that thing all off to the side like that, but it still works. I don't understand where people are like, these things get destroyed so easily. I, being the idiot I am when I'm with new stuff, I'm not idiot. I'm a bull in a china shop. That's my problem. I like to do first, find out what I did wrong, and then do it again. A lot of times I jump before I really look. At least in situations where I won't get hurt, at least not physically, most often financially, or at least wasting money on things. So I also lots of times cut these off. I find it's just easier to try to clean it from there. This was all done with the old silver solder. Don't like this stuff. The lead solder is just so much easier to work with. Everything melts so much easier, flows so much easier. I just like it done better. So I wasn't planning on taking things out, but now it looks like I might actually do that and replace the wiring, because it looks like I kind of jacked that up, doesn't it? I mean, this should be nice and simple, and it's not looking good. So let me, yeah, I got wiring going everywhere. Or is that because, that is because this is, because that's the only thing that's going, actually, you know what? No, we're going to leave this. This is actually my 9-volt one. This is going to go to the 9-volt spot. This is the one that runs the LEDs. So, in and in ground, the other ground is jumpered. Then we have that. So all we really have to do is strip these off so that I have little bits to work with. These are just the two sides. This one here is going to double up with the ground from the board. And we have board in, board ground, and this is where, as I was stating earlier, it's easier to do it in that template that I have. So if you do it in a template, you don't have the sides of the enclosure to deal with, so it's a lot of times easier to get to the different pieces. This is also why I like to color code things, and I must have, well, actually that was ground because that's what's coming off of there, and it's not, it's actually power on this end. So like I said, the spot with the slot I like to use as the bottom. I don't need to worry about the nut because we are not using it on the outside. We're only using, we're going to use this, so the silver washer is actually fine from the other one. So we'll take that silver washer again and we will reuse that. We'll use this nut for right now just to hold this on because we'll use that for something. I might actually end up using it on this because maybe I wouldn't, you know what, I think I am going to just use it. I think that'll look better than this big thing. I think it'll be a little more understated. I think I'll like that better. Alright, so as I said, typically what I do is I put it together like this. I'm going to actually, since this is the bottom, I'm going to do our little jumper here, and I think, I don't know, well, let me test. I want to do the jumper out of the box just because I see this as being kind of slight bit difficult to deal with. Let's take a look at things. We definitely need that on. That's too yellow. If I use this, sometimes I have such a hard time getting these to thread correctly. Huh. I do like that look better. Since it's so deep, I can actually look at it both ways to see what I like better. I'm not sure this was actually doing anything since we are getting the ground from, oh, from nowhere. They don't have a ground wire up there. Yeah, so this ground has to come up. So this will also run around the ground because this is the only place we actually get the ground going to the power. So this will go to the center. So what I have to do is I have to do the one that goes down and the one around the back. So we're going to do that not in the pedal since, you know, we have limited room in there. And we'll do everything else inside. So let's take this off. Let's move the pedal out of the way. And let's take a look. We want to make sure this stays bottom. And we want to get our wires to be able to do the pieces. Now, I'm one of those crazy psychopaths that happens to put lots of wire in here. This is plain wire. We're going to take a small portion of this to do our front to the one, and then we're going to take another small portion to do the other part. So this is just going to go through there like so and come up, and so it actually holds. We have a nice straight line, and then this one I think I'm going to try to do a curve so it's not too bad. But really, this is just through here as well. I'll try not to cut it as I'm grabbing onto it. And so, now in order to hold this, once again, I like that the blue tack. The blue tack is really good for holding anything where you need it to stay. This we just need to kind of stay in one spot. We've got to turn on our get out. So I can actually watch mine count up. 250, 3, 350, 4. I've got it set at 650. I also have things in the way that I need to move because I don't get set well enough. Some things I'm doing poorly here. One, little pieces of plastic all over my board. Horrible. See this? That's nice. The silicone does. Well, I've had a switch video. Hopefully you got to see the solder wick. We're cleaned that up since I'd done that prematurely. That's now clear. Everything else is clear. We can actually work on putting this into the pedal now and get everything working. The one thing I do need though is I need to figure out, oh, they're in here. Okay, so. Oh, you know what's nice? This even has the gold. Oh, that's awesome. So, this doesn't have a secondary nut, so I'll use this one because I want this to stand off a little bit more than it normally is. And the way you do that is you use the nut to keep it up a little bit. So, are these the same size? Yes, they are. Good, excellent. So I usually wind this down to pretty much the bottom. Not quite, actually that's good, because it'll give us a little bit of standoff. We use the plastic to keep it up a little bit more, and then we'll use that to get it going. This is the one for that, is it? I don't know, can't really tell which was which. Alright, so this will then go in here, and we'll move all our stuff out of the way. Again, pay attention. I like this to face towards the bottom of the pedal. We want to make sure it's there. That's the bottom. Need to keep it upright. You see, a lot less of it is actually sticking out, which is nice. I want to use the gold, which looks really good. I feel around because I want the smooth edge to actually be down to do the least amount of damage up against the pedal itself. And there you go. That is now there. And I want to turn that back. So I use a set of sockets to tighten things, and I like to make sure that my pedals are always facing straight up and down. It's a craziness, but when I see these, I want them to be very symmetrical on the pedal. So a lot of times we'll spend a little time getting it up and down. So I like the way that looks. I think that cleans up really nice compared to before. Gives me more of that gold, you know, King Tuttian finish. So now we have to wire it up. So now we have our soldering to do. We have our one going across, so this can literally go straight to here. We can decide if we want it to be very hard to there. I like to give a little bit of leeway, mainly because it makes it easier to deal with. If we do have problems, it means I can cut it and still most likely use this. We do want to ensure that it's not going straight down, because it's not supposed to go into that. So we can actually put that one right there. I find a lot of times if you do the soldering from the top, you can just let the solder go down, or just do the inside. So there, it's actually, if you saw it, wicked all the way over onto this. Did a very good job. It's not touching either one, and that actually looks really good. This is our actual ground. This will go into this one. I will pull that through so it's up to there, and as I showed you before, I like them to go straight up pretty much. This is our power, which we are going to have go here. I should use different color wiring, didn't. This one again though, get it go up, and then this is our output, and this is going to go into here. Now before I wire that, I have to remember this is also a ground. So this has to go to this middle spot as well. I can't really see it all that well, so I'm trying to, I might have to take a break for a second and get my glasses out again. Oh, I got it through. Now if we can grab it. I cannot see that. All right, hold on. All right, and it's going. And it's all the way down there. So let's see if we can do that a little bit better. It would actually help if I can turn this to the side so that this can go through here. There you go. Grab the tip of it. Now we got both of them facing up. So that's good. So now we got our grounds actually in there. So what I'm going to do is this. I'm going to actually solder that so that is set. And then I will get to the next one that we want to go and add. So I think we've got our ones that are sharing holes taken care of. This is the power. It just simply goes there. This is our out from the board, which goes there. I'm trying to make sure they look right. Not the easiest thing in the world. So we have our through, we have our grounds, ground for the board, ground for the pedals. We got our input, ground to go to board, power. So all we have now is in, which goes through here, and out, which goes through here, and clip off our excess. We should be good to go with our new Stomp switch. Now, a couple things I'm going to do that I didn't do in the past. I was always worried about cutting these. I no longer am so scared to cut them. When you don't know a lot, you kind of get worried that you're going to do things wrong, so you try not to do anything. And I think you actually sometimes do more wrong when you're trying not to than if you just did what you think you're supposed to do and go. What I've been finding with this process is that you could pretty much fix or correct anything that you do wrong. So, you know, it's not that bad if I screw something up. And if I screw it up, I'll do it again. I know worst comes to worst, I'm out 50 bucks. And I don't want to be out 50 bucks. But I mean, shit happens. I could always work a little harder. Maybe sell it to someone at a discount and make my money back. And I'll take it for the artwork alone, maybe. Ah, so bad at holding things. You don't want to squeeze too hard. I'm having trouble finding the holes. No. Never thought I'd have that problem. But as you age, you can't see. Oh, Jesus. Fungal Well, I like working outside the box. In the box, my fat fingers have a really hard time finding where they're supposed to go. Outside the box, I have a much easier time of knowing what it is I'm doing. Or at least being able to maneuver these frickin' piggies to where they're supposed to go. And like I said, working around the camera is kind of a pain in the neck. This is several inches further away than I would typically feel comfortable, and I would really have my face right in it if I had my choice, but I want everyone to be able to see what's going on, and I'm not quite sure. Yeah, see, this is where I need to bring it. I need to bring it to here, and I can see right away. So that's a much better spot for getting all of those in. You know, we can see it. We've got all those in. We've got our new pedal all soldered up. I believe everything is correct. I use my little screwdrivers and stuff to push everything back down along the sides, which isn't always the easiest thing either. There we go. There. Like that. So, not bad. It's relatively clean, not perfect, but I think that will give us a nice, better look to the pedal. So let's try it out. Let's see. This is an input. This is an output. This is power. Let's see, do we have power? Snake eyes? Ah, snake eyes. There we go. I want to put the back on because I want to make sure that that it's working, that it's shielded correctly. King Tut. Here's my back. There they are. Here's my screws. Now, I was told by somebody that I need to start looking at making sure that my top and my bottom are actually touching metal-wise to close out the Faraday cage or whatever, the shielding for the electricity. I'm going to turn off the welder because I think I'm actually done. If I don't do it when I remember, I'll forget and it'll stay on for hours. So as I said, you're supposed to have it fully enclosed for electrical shielding. I'm not sure that's happening with my builds. I'm gonna have to look into that. I live in an apartment, so I can't play very loud, so I don't know what's going on in high gain settings and if I'm getting any high gain noise out of my pedals. I got a little Fender Blues Junior underneath me. It's what I use when I test. Let's see, can my power get close enough? Probably not. No, it's not my power, it's my output. It's a little bit of everything, isn't it? Okay, let me do this. Get these to stop wrapping around each other. There we go. I forget what all the different switches and everything on this pedal happen to do because I just don't remember. It is not a pedal I was familiar with before I built it. I would have to look it up. Oh, distortion level, I think this is bass and treble, if I'm correct. You know, as an EQ settings. All right, so that's